Hi, I'm Anne Marie Lutz, and I'm an author of fantasy novels and short stories, including my new novel last year, Taylor, that was released in September of 2019. I'll be reading from my short story, Bradzar and the Dragon, which was actually awarded an honorable mention by Allegory Magazine in their 2020 winter edition. So, Bradzar and the Dragon by Anne Marie Lutz. Bradzar Authentine made his way up the boulder-strewn path to the dragon's lair. He was no longer a young man, as he had been the last time he'd come this way. Then he trembled with fear as he'd inched past sections of rock that glowed red with the heat of the dragon's flame. Now he also trembled, but this time it was all in his legs, unused to the strain of the climb. And the rocks were cold enough on this winter's day that Bradzar could have plopped a couple of small ones in his water bottle to keep it chilled. There was no sign of Paysan the feared. In fact, there had been no sign of the dragon for a long time now. Bradzar had been nominated by the townspeople to go up and see what was going on. Nominated in lieu of harsher punishment, rather. The townspeople hadn't taken kindly to Bradzar's latest money-making scheme. These people had no respect for a man with a little bit of entrepreneurial spirit. Besides, anyone who gave out their information so easily online deserved to be fleeced, Bradzar thought. Bradzar reached the entrance to the cave that led into the black interior of the mountain. A few bones were strewn around the outside of the hole, surely very old, Bradzar hoped. He turned and looked over the edge of the cliff. Far below, people stood at the foot of the trail and waited for Bradzar's report. An angry, buzzing sound grew louder as a drone ascended up the cliffside and hovered over him. That was the news crew's drone recording Bradzar's every move. Bradzar sighed. He stretched the ache out of his legs, set his shoulders, and crept into the fissure in the mountainside that led to the lair of Paysan the Pitiless. He inched along the tunnel, then peered around the corner into the cavern. Last time he had come this way, a foolish youth on a dare, the very walls of the mountain had pulsed red with heat. Now an oil lamp hung on a golden chain from the ceiling, casting a circle of wan light that didn't reach to the far edges of the cavern. It shone dully off heaps of gold and gems. The dragon was curled on his hoard, the arch of his back curving up toward the roof, his wings tucked tight against his green-scaled flanks. He opened one huge yellow eye. Back again, are you? Bradzar's heart skipped a beat. Paysan remembered him? It had been 40 years or more. What was he to say to the monster now? We noticed you don't come around to see us much anymore. Paysan the Terrible stirred and resettled himself on his hoard. As he moved, there was a crackling, rustling sound that Bradzar didn't recognize. We haven't seen you for a long time. No. You aren't flying over the town breathing flame down at us anymore. That's right. Doctor's orders. Doctor's orders? So to speak. Paysan lifted his huge head, opened both baleful eyes, and stared. The stink of his breath enveloped Bradzar. Old smoke, sulfur, and nacho cheese? I'm sorry, Bradzar said. We missed you singeing the roof shingles off the town hall, and there hasn't been a stink of brimstone in the air since forever. You should be overjoyed, Paysan the Death from Above said. He lay his huge head back down on his front legs like a dog. Well, we're not. Tourism revenue is down 100%. Tourists want to see the dragon breathing fire, scaring the crap out of them. Without you, there's not much to bring them to our little village. All the hotels and restaurants are empty and people are unemployed. The mayor is at her wit's end. Paysan's tail swung back and forth. I'm very old, you know, more than 1,000 years. A disease of my kind has afflicted me. I have high blood pressure now. High... Paysan breathed out a puff of angry smoke. No need to ridicule me for it. You try manufacturing flame in your body for years, flying around all the time in a rage of destruction, and see how it affects you. I wouldn't dream of it, Bradzar said. So you can't breathe fire anymore, or you won't? One of my ancestors terrorized his community, breathing a raging inferno down on them yearly. He ignored the signs of the plague of our kind. He kept going, slaying and destroying, until one day he exploded, raining fire and ash down on Stolet until the town was destroyed, and so was he. I thought a meteor destroyed Stolet. No, it was a dragon. One who ignored the inevitabilities of age and kept going until he went out in a blaze of annihilation. Well, we don't want that. Bradzar thought a moment. He had read up a little bit on hypertension lately, his doctor having warned him he was courting an early death if he didn't change his habits. Have you tried meditation? Maybe changing your diet? Paisan glared. I understand that green vegetables and lots of unprocessed grains can help. Paisan the disastrous snorted in annoyance. Dragons eat meat. Bradzar sighed. He looked around for a place to sit as he considered the problem. There was a distinct possibility he'd have to go back down the mountain and tell the mayor and the council that the village's glory days were over. Paisan stirred, and Bradzar heard that crinkling sound again. He strolled around to the side of the cavern so he could see what was making the noise. His eyes opened wide. A huge drift of packaging lay heaped behind Paisan, rivaling the dragon's hoard in size. The bags were brightly colored red and yellow and silver in the low light, blaring out names like crispy chips or cheese-filled nuggets or yum crunchy cookies. All the bags appeared to be empty. You stinking idiot, Bradzar exclaimed. Dragons eat meat, do they? Paisan the Horrible's massive head lifted and a warning flame scorched the air. How dare you? Look at all this junk food. Bradzar strode into the pile of trash. Crinkling bags crushed beneath his feet, wafted around his legs. The aroma of stale toasted corn and fake sugar drifted to his nose. Ugh, why? I may take only so many cows per year, Paisan the Slayer said. It's not enough for a dragon of my size and strength. The news has been reporting multiple accidents on the cliff road, mostly trucks supplying our convenience stores. I bet that's all you, trying to feed your habit. Why? Paisan rose to his haunches, looming in all his terrible magnificence in the gloom of his lair. His scales scraped against the rock. Bradzar remembered exactly whom he was berating, the merciless, the ancient, the destroyer from above, who had terrorized the village since time immemorial. Only in recent years, as time and technology marched on, had they grown to value Paisan, who brought wide-eyed tourists to town to spend their currency. But they had not succeeded in taming him. Do you think a measly cow every month is enough to maintain my strength? It's barely enough to sate my appetite, and tainted always with the stink of antibiotics and hormones. And if I stray from our agreement and take more than I'm allotted, or even a Paisan licked his lips, a plump, middle-aged man like yourself, or a virgin, as in the days when I was young, the mayor wouldn't stand for it. Bradzar considered. Well, neither would I. And we'd be after you with tanks and missiles before you could say Paisan the dead. Indeed. Paisan curled back down and away from Bradzar. A depressed dragon, if Bradzar had ever seen one, which he supposed he had not, but the signs were all there. We miss you, Bradzar said. The town is as empty as a church 10 minutes after service is over. I've been thinking about leaving this area, Paisan said. It will be hard, as I have many fond memories of breathing my fire upon your village. And I will stop there. That's the end of the selection that I sent in. It is Bradzar and the Dragon. And thank you very much.